Hey, what's going on, y'all? Hope everyone's having a fabulous day. If you haven't gotten a chance to subscribe to this channel, please do so. I want you guys to ring that notification bell. That way, when I drop a video, you'll be notified. In this video, what I want to talk to you guys about is the truth about credit and why credit is an asset. Oftentimes, I watch a lot of YouTube on Dave Ramsey and a lot of other personal finance gurus, and they talk about how your personal credit or credit cards are the devil, basically. And a lot of people are getting away, especially with this new minimalist movement. A lot of millennials out here right now afraid of credit. I believe 2008, the financial crisis, completely changed the dynamic of the way people view debt. It got people from looking at appreciation. A lot of times at that time, people were going into homes and looking for appreciation, and now people are looking more as appreciation as a plus, like in property, and they're looking for cash flow. A lot of times you go through internet and everybody keeps talking about passive income and cash flow and all these different things, and the way that people view debt is just it's the devil. And I believe 2008, the financial crisis, what happened, what we went through, has changed the complete dynamic of the way that we view credit cards. Yes, credit cards are dangerous, but in this video, I want to talk to you how credit cards are an asset to your financial portfolio. I know a young lady. I spoke of her previously in other videos, how she had a vehicle, and when her vehicle broke down, she had to start taking buses, and she had to start taking not Uber, but Uber. That's what they call it, Uber and Lyfts, and she was doing everything she possibly could to get to work. But what happened was, it was just a situation, man. She was just late all the time, and her employer terminated her from her job. She was terminated, and because she was late and she had no capital to run to fix her vehicle broke down. She was just at the mercy of whatever society gave her. And when you do not have capital to run to, when they say that, I can't remember the numbers, like 70% of the people in the United States of America can't go out and get $1,000. Well, the the thing about it is, if you can't go out and get $1,000, you're pretty much at the mercy of what society gives you. And if you are struggling to build that rainy day fund, chances are it's going to be easier for you to build your credit than it is for you to build a rainy day fund. When you go out here and you're listening to these people talking about how credit cards are dangerous and you shouldn't even have a credit card, you should cut all your credit cards up, chances are they are detached from reality. Most of us do not, or are not, in a situation where we can live completely on a cash basis system. We need some type of financing in order for us to get through our day-to-day lives. And I know there's going to be a lot of people that say, no, you don't. You could use cash. You can use cash. I have a lot of people that are in trucking, and we are some of the most unemployable people on this planet. And I'm talking about owner-operators. We don't like people to tell us anything. We can't really go out and get company jobs because we're so used to working for ourselves that we're pretty much unemployable. We would probably be a pain in the neck for any boss that we have. And we're just so used to running our trucks the way that we want to run our trucks and not the way somebody else wants us to run. And so there was a gentleman that is an owner operator, and he had a couple of fuel injectors go out, and I guess the bill for him to change all his fuel injectors was $7,000 to $10,000. with labor and everything out the door. It was like $7,000 to $10,000. So if you do not have $7,000 to $10,000 that you can run to, chances are you are now out of business, going to look for a job somewhere else. But because he has credit cards, he's going to be able to put that bill on his credit cards, and whatever cash that he has in his bank, he could keep it in his bank, right? He could keep his cash in the bank, put it on a credit card, and yeah, he's going to have a little bit of a bill that he's going to have to run to pay off, but it's not going to put him out of business. And that's something that a lot of people don't understand. You have a lot of people out here talking about what it's going to take for you to run your authority. Please understand, if I had to run my business completely cash based, there's no way I would stay in business, right? Because there's things that come up on a continuous basis that I need to put things on credit cards and then pay my credit cards off. It's just a revolving door, especially in trucking. You talking turbos go out $5,000-$10,000, probably not 10, closer to 5, but you know what I'm saying. Like, there's nothing cheap when it comes to tires. I changed 2 tires on my truck, Michelin's. I believe the bill came to like $1,200 for 2 tires, right? And when you're talking about you got 18 tires that you're responsible for, unless you're going to get, some cheap Toyo tires or something like that, then it's going to cost you thousands of dollars just for tires. And when you're in a situation where you're continuously having to dip in the bank to pay for things, sometimes having access to capital, right, is what's king. Like, you have these people that talk about cash is king. Capital is king. I don't care how you get the capital to stay in business. That's what's really important. And when you're talking about on a personal basis, for this young lady that lost her job because she didn't have capital she could run into, sometimes it's not just being in business. I'm just talking about your personal finances. Having the ability to take care of something for personal finances, whether it's medication or maybe a furnace goes out in your home or whatever it is, being able to fix situations and going back over time to repair it is just going to allow your life to be a little bit more comfortable. And I'm not saying going out and putting, purchasing, a Tom Ford jacket or something like that. I'm talking about life, like just living life. Sometimes you have to finance life. And so your credit is an asset. Your credit, like the credit that I'm talking about you guys building, going out here and building, it's an asset. It's not just building credit for the sake of building credit. And I always talk about, staying in between 2 to 10% on your credit cards. When you run into a situation, of course your balances are going to get high, but I just don't want you guys living off your credit cards. Use your credit as a means of keeping your financial system going. That's the name of the game. And when I talk to people on a regular basis that are in trucking, a lot of times you have people that are company drivers that call me up. Like, let's say you're a company driver and you're thinking about becoming an owner operator, but you just don't have the capital to get started. Let me work with you in building your credit up so you can get started in becoming your own owner operator. You don't have to be a company driver if you don't want to. Finance your way to your dreams if you have to. And like I said, there's no way I could be in the position right now if I had to do everything via cash. When I came out of my bankruptcy, I didn't have a lot of cash. I didn't have very much cash. I had to start all over. But because I was able to get myself into a situation, it allowed me to stack some money and get myself into a better situation. And that's how you use capital. Understanding capital is your friend, especially if you're in the trucking industry. And like I said, I have a lot of truck drivers that call me up and we talk finance, we talk financing, and we're always trying to talk different strategies to get us to the next level. And when you're talking about personal finance, Your credit is going to be one of the greatest assets that you're going to have within your personal financial portfolio. Okay, so I just want you guys to understand this. Credit is a huge part of all of it, and understanding how to use credit is going to allow you to keep your financial system going. I'll give you guys a quick story of another person that I worked with in the past. There was a gentleman that lost his job, and when he lost his job, he had some money in the bank, but not a lot, and he was able to live off of his credit cards for a while to get him into a position to where he could find a job that he truly wanted, not that he needed, but he truly wanted. And he lived off of his credit cards. What that did was it bought him some time. See, a lot of times when you're making a decision, especially after a job loss, you're making desperate decisions. You're making decisions that you have to make because you're desperate. I just lost my job. I got to hurry up and get out here and get something. But when you understand personal finance, when you understand this game of credit, you're able to do things like, okay, I'm going to live off my credit cards for a little bit just to get myself in a position to where I can find good employment and not have to worry about, picking a job that I'm not going to be happy with. That's long term. And what he did was, after he lived off of his credit cards, we ended up getting him a loan. Well, he ended up getting a loan, and he transferred his credit card debts to a personal loan. So now he wiped all his credit card debt off, and he's just, he has his personal loan. Now, he needed an installment loan anyway on his credit report to build credit. So it's actually helping him. When you look at things this way, now he's got him a job that he really loves, that he really wanted. But he wouldn't have been able to do that if he wasn't able to use his credit. And so understanding your credit is an asset. So when I say that, I want you guys to understand this is kind of a part 2 to the last video I made. I just made a video talking about how long is it going to take for you to rebuild your credit. And I was talking about it's going to take 18 to 24 months. And I never had so many people email me upset at the fact that, I believe that it's going to take you 18 to 24 months to build a solid credit profile. You're not going to come out and just say, you know what, today I'm going to start building credit. You're in the 530s, and next month you're going to be in the, 720s. Just because your credit score might go up, it doesn't mean you have your credit profile is seasoned. Sometimes you have to look at the seasoning that it's going to take for you to get to the next level, right? And when I talk about the next level, I'm talking about where you can start using credit to start building wealth. And whether that's going out purchasing a home, whether that's going out purchasing a piece of rental property, you're going to have to start building your credit to the point where when you go get financing, you're not getting raped over the coals. Just because you can get it doesn't mean that you need it, that it's a good loan. And what I would like you guys to do is stop looking at things at a short-term basis and start really looking at things long-term. Giving yourself 18 to 24 months when you're talking about credit is really not a long time. And especially when you're really talking about doing things with your credit to help establish your wealth. 18 to 24 months is not a long time at all. It's 2020. And when you really think about it, I did my bankruptcy 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, something like that. It feels like yesterday. It doesn't feel like, a long time ago, like I filed it. No, that feels like maybe last year I filed a bankruptcy. So when you're talking about credit, it's not going to take you a long time to put yourself in a position to where you could start building wealth for yourself. There was a gentleman that made a comment in my last video. He asked me, do I think that I would be able to go out and get a loan right now? When I made my last What's in Your Wallet video, I didn't talk about a loan that I got for my business via Kabbage. And I believe it's Kabbage, Kabbage is how you spell the name of the company. I went out and I got a loan through Kabbage for my business to help build my business credit. So the question is, can I get a loan right now? The answer is yes, I did. I got one, right? The loan I got on my Kabbage. If you guys go in my community on my YouTube channel, you will see I posted the Kabbage loan in my community, right? I believe it's community under one of those tabs in YouTube. You have a community you could go to, and I posted the loan, and I post things in my community all the time. So you guys can see that just because you filed a bankruptcy does not mean that it's going to take you 10 to 15 years to build a credit. So if you went through a bankruptcy, or if you're just trying to establish credit, just take the baby steps and start building your credit right now. If you're in a Chapter 13 is when you actually have to pay your loans back. All the strategies that I'm talking about, talk to your attorney, talk to your trustee to make sure that it's okay for you to start establishing credit. That's something between you, your trustee, and your attorney, right? I'm not an attorney. I'm not a practicing attorney or anything like that. So I hate to tell people that are actually in some type of, repayment program or something like that and give them advice, because the last thing I want to do is put anybody in harm's way. So the thing about it is, building credit is a journey. It's a state of being. It's a state of mind that you have to have. You always have to maintain credit. Now, when I'm talking about the 18 to 24 months, I'm not talking about that you have to sit here for 18 to 24 months and keep applying for things. When I'm talking about 18 to 24 months, maintaining your credit, it's best, right? And I always get this question also, Kenny, should I apply for things over time, or should I just go out and get all these trade lines all at once? If you can get all the trade lines that I talk about, so let's say I tell you to get the Opensky secure credit card, a credit builder credit card through CreditLiving, I tell you to go out and get you a SelfLender account, a MyJewelers account, and a New Coast Direct account. And I tell you to get all these things. If you can go out and get all these things all at once, chances are over time it's going to look more beneficial than you going out, keep applying for credit. So when you guys ask me how you should do it, should you do it over time or should you go out and get it all at once? First and foremost, get them, because you need 3 to 5 revolving lines of credit on your credit report. You need at least one installment loan. Get these accounts and get them as soon as possible. Make that investment in yourself and get them as soon as possible. Now, once you go out and you get these accounts, and some of you that have higher credit scores, maybe you don't go out and you get the credit builder and the Opensky credit cards. Maybe you get the Capital One or the Discover 8 credit card, or you go out and get the State Department Federal credit card. What you're trying to do is always trying to get limit increases on your credit cards. You're always trying to get lower interest rates on your credit cards. And you're always negotiating with your financial institutions to make sure that you have the best terms possible. That way, if you ever run to your credit cards, you're able to use it to your benefit without having to get raped over the coals, like, a buy here, pay here, or payday loan or something like that. Those interest rates are just completely ridiculous. Some of them 30%, all the way up to 300% when you look at the fees that are involved and all that other stuff. So understanding that building credit is far more than just going out applying for credit cards. Sometimes it's just maintaining your credit cards and just putting yourself in a better position so that when you do run into a situation, you can use your credit cards. And that's what makes your credit cards an asset, that you're not at the mercy of, whatever the circumstances presents to you. If God forbid I go down here and I blow an engine on my truck, and then they say, okay, this overhaul is going to be $20,000. Okay, well, I know I can run to get $20,000 right now if need be. via credit cards, right? And even if I have 20, 25, $30,000 sitting in the bank, I don't have to use my cash. I could put it on a credit card and keep my cash in the bank. And that way I'm still staying in business. And once you start understanding these things and really looking at it as a business, not just trucking, I'm talking about your personal finances. Once you start looking at your personal finances as a business, your decision making becomes completely different. And I just wanted to touch bases with you guys. I always say I'm not going to make a long video, but I'm 22 minutes in. So I hope you guys have a blessed day. Your credit is an asset. Don't listen to all these people telling you to cut up your cards. Understand, use your credit to your best of ability and maintain the credit as much as you can. All right? You guys have a blessed day. I'm going to catch you on the next one. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.